And here in the studio, joining us now to give us further insight into the situation in Egypt is the Middle East expert Sherif Mansour. Mr. Mansour was born in Cairo and spent the first 25 years of his life in Egypt. He is now a senior program officer with Freedom House, an organization dedicated to promoting free institutions worldwide. Sherif Mansour, welcome to In Focus.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Now, as we observe developments in Cairo, what reported there just made us, appreciate what's happening there. People kind of going back to normal life somewhat. But at the same time, we've had reports that there are a few or some people who are still out there and they're still unhappy. They're not completely satisfied with just Mubarak leaving town. What more must be done?
There were clear demands from the beginning, and I think the army have done a good job so far in responding to these demands. They have the first and most important one is the outset of Mubarak, then dissolving the two parliaments that were fraudulent and suspending the constitution. I think now they are talking also about having a referendum soon. So some of these questions are important, but there are several things that I think will make people a lot more happier, and they are very practical, and that includes the removal of the emergency law and releasing political prisoners. This is something that's going to restore a lot of confidence in the attitude and the behavior of the army in the upcoming stage. We noticed that the military said it's going to ban certain public gatherings, including labor union meetings, and also act against chaos and disruptions. What is your take on this? I think they want basically to restore order and in order to bring back security to handle everyday life and then remove emergency status, which is like a kind of acceptable in a situation where you need to build some trust. And I think most of the people now accept that there need to be some normalcy in order to restore order and then ensure all the demands are met. But I have two cautions. First of all, this is an army after all, and I think no matter how people trust the army and how much they have confidence in the way they handle things, they have the same hierarchical mind and they have the same priority of stability that every army is looking for across the world. So I want to be cautious as well that this is not going to be the end of it, and it's just going to be temporary until the order is restored.
Mm-hmm. And now the military, of course, has said it will help the transition into civilian rule and at the same time hopefully give back power in 6 months or slightly after that, as soon as the country is ready for a democratic election. Mm-hmm. In your assessment, is 6 months enough time for all the political groups to organize themselves and be ready to participate in a credible election?
Well, I think it's enough if there is will from the army and from the people to collaborate. And basically, having a free and fair election requires significant changes in the constitution and on the ground. And these changes already have acceptance from everyone, all the opposition. There are immediate need for removing the emergency status. There is immediate need to issue new laws, which the army said that they're going to do over the next 6 months where they are in power. They will suspend the constitution, but they will issue laws that will allow freedom of organization, allow new parties to be formed, and so on.
Yes. Now, quickly, we know that the events in Egypt were triggered by the upheavals in Tunisia, but some say that what has happened in Egypt will have more significance in the entire Arab world. Do you share the view?
Absolutely. I think the line that all Arab dictators were using after Tunisia is, we're not Tunisia. But once Egypt happened, no one could say we're not Egypt. I think right now the Egyptian people have sent two messages, one to the Arab public view and to the Arab people is that you can do it and it's a matter of time, just be persistent enough. And the other to the Arab dictators saying your time is running out.
Yeah, very quickly in 15 seconds. Do you fear that there could be some unintended developments under military rule in Egypt?
Absolutely, and that's
I think the balance between trust and transparency, I think we need to hear a lot more from the army. They need to be communicating their plans regularly, and there need to be continuous freedom of media so that they can cover events as they develop.
Thank you very much,
You're most
Sherif Mansour. Sherif, we want to thank you very much for joining us today. That is Sherif Mansour, a Senior Program Officer with the Freedom House here in Washington, D.C. Hope you come back again. Okay. Well, now, for more information on any of today's stories, please visit us online at voaafrica.com. You can also visit us on Facebook. Just search for In Focus.